Maharaj Parikshit. So Maharaj Parikshit was very fatigued. He had gone for hunting in the forest. The kings would go for hunting in the forest in the Vedic times, even in earlier times, for various reasons. One reason for them to be always very valorous, always very Kshatriyas need to be ready for fight. So for that reason, to be aggressive, to be strong, they would go for hunting and keep themselves prepared. That also, they would go for hunting alone. Parikshit could have taken his army and gone, but he did not take army. It is not the purpose of hunting some animals and eating. If hunting some animals and eating, he could have taken his soldiers with him. He has not taken. He has gone alone to test his Kshatriya ability. The second reason the Kshatriyas go for hunting, to bring sometimes a kind of a balance in the forest. Sometimes the number of the carnivorous animals may become more, sometimes herbivorous animals may become, so they maintain certain balance. The third reason they go for hunting, when the animals are troubling the peaceful human beings. For that reason also, the Kshatriyas go for hunting. Now Maharaj Parikshit, this time he has gone for hunting, but with the will of the providence. Krishna is closely watching his activity. Krishna wants something out of Maharaj Parikshit. He becomes an instrument in Maharaj Krishna's hand. To become nice servant of Krishna, you have to become very dear to Krishna. Then only Krishna will use you in his seva. Very selected people will get opportunity to render service to Krishna. Don't think that if you get some service to Krishna, that is your credit. I am getting service to Krishna because of very special favor Krishna has bestowed upon me. Just like if you have two pens with you to write, and you need to write an essay, you'll use the best pen. Likewise, Krishna will use his best servant to something which he wants to do. He wants to get something done. He wants to construct a temple. He wants to do something. He wants to preach Krishna consciousness. He wanted to establish Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement has to be established all over the world. Prithvite Nagaradi Grama. Everywhere the holy name of Krishna has to be spread. Now Krishna will pick you as an instrument if you become very dear to Krishna. How to become dear to Krishna? That is there in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Not very difficult. Go and read 12th chapter of Krishna. Who is dear? He is very dear to me. Priyosi. He is very, very dear to me. Like that, Krishna speaks so many things from verse number 13 to verse number 20 of the 12th chapter. So, like this, we understand Maharaj Parikshit is not ordinary soul. He has been selected by Krishna to bring out something the Lord wanted it to come out. As because Kali Yuga is beginning. Kali Yuga is begun. The Kali Yuga people require some shelter. The Kali Yuga's people shelter. The tree which can give shelter to Kali Yuga people is Bhagavatam. So now Parikshit has gone for hunting. So that is where we are discussing from the last chapter. I'll share my screen. So now we will chant these verses. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om Namo
Bhagavate
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 Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
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 Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
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 Bhagavate
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 Vasudevaya.
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 Ye kadha dhanur udyamya
Ekata
Ekada
Dhanur
Dhanur
Dhanurudhyamya
Udhyamya.
vicharan mrugayamane.
Vicharan
Vicharanam
Mrigayam
Yam Mane.
Mrugan anugataha shrantaha
Mriganurugataha
Anugataha
Shantaha
Shantaha.
Suditastrishto vrisham.
Ditas
Sudhita
Trishto
Vrisham
Vrisham.
Jalashayam achakshanaha
Jalasayam
Ayam
Achakshana
Achakshana.
prav- praviveshatamashramam.
Praviveshatamashramam
Asmashramam.
Tadarsha munimasinam
Dadarasha Munivasinam
Masinam.
shantam milita lochanam.
Shantam
Tam
Militalotanam.
Melitalotanam.
All of you, please mute yourself. I will explain. Once upon a time, Maharaj Parikshit, while engaged in hunting in the forest with the bow and arrows, became extremely fatigued, hungry, thirsty while following the stag. While searching for a reservoir of water, he entered the hermitage of the well known Shamika Rishi and saw the sage sitting silently with the closed eyes. So he entered the, he was looking, he was hunting, he was tired and thirsty, and he saw an ashrama. So the rishis used to have an ashrama in the forest, in a very isolated place. Why it is an isolated place? So that they're away from all material distractions. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said one of the qualities of a person who is in knowledge, he should always, he should stay in a secluded place, secluded from the materialistic people. Once a devotee asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, can you give the one instruction, one most important instruction for devotees? Everybody would have thought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will say, chant Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Asat Sanga Tyaga Ye Vaishnava Achar. Vaishnava's behavior, devotees' behavior is Asat Sanga Tyaga. One should actually not to associate with the non-devotees. It can take you away from Krishna, very risky. You get contaminated. You may be a healthy person, but you can get contaminated. Just like during the coronavirus time, government had prohibited the infected people to mix with the healthy people because healthy people get infected. Like that, the Maya is very powerful in this world. Don't underestimate the strength of Maya Devi. She is very powerful. She has multi abilities. Her illusion is very powerful. She has illusion even at the level of Swargaloka. Nobody can defeat. We have heard so many instances from the history, like Vishwamitra Rishi. Great rishis were not able to counter the Maya's force. especially in Kali Yuga, the Maya is very, very, very powerful. Okay. So, to keep us away from the materialistic people is one of the very important instructions. So, the rishis used to have ashrama in the forest lights. So, the Maharaj Parikshit entered the forest. Pratiruddhendriya prana mano buddhim uparatam sthanatrayat param praptam brahma bhutam avikrayam. The Muni's sense organs, the breath, the mind, and intelligence were all restrained from material activities. He was not into the external world, he was fully internal world. He was situated in trance, apart from the three: wakefulness, dream, and unconscious state. These are the different levels of the growth of the development of spiritual awakening. Generally, somebody may be wakeful or somebody may be dreaming. Next level is unconsciousness state. These are the different ways our consciousness we can recognize. Something is happening around us, we can immediately come to know. But if you are wakeful, you can come to know. If you are dreaming, if you are daydreaming, sometimes when you are talking, you are daydreaming, then you will not hear what I am speaking. Then unconsciousness state, you are not able to recognize what's happening or no consciousness that also. But all this, beyond this, the trance is beyond this, transcendental. So he was in trance. Having achieved transcendental position qualitatively, equally the Supreme Absolute. Now, why Shukadeva Goswami specifically mentioned, or Suta Goswami specifically mentioned, the Muni's silence is not material. He is not silent because he is sleeping. He is not silent because he has fallen unconscious due to some bodily weakness. Or he is not dreaming. He is in trance. There is a spiritual platform. So he is in that platform. The Muni is doing yoga like that. Then Raja Parikshit. Viprakirna Jata Channam. How is he? The sage in meditation was covered by skin of a stag. He was not wearing ordinary cloth. He was wearing a skin of a stag. And long, compressed hair was scattered all over him. The king, whose palate was dry and thirst, asked him for a water. The scene is set by Lord. This scene is set by the Lord. He is the director. In our actions, it is not so. We should discriminate between our activity and Maharaj Parikshit's activity. We do mistakes because of our inexperience or our shortcomings. Because of our shortcomings, we do mistakes. But when the great personality like Maharaj Parikshit is doing something, this is not because of the shortcoming of Maharaj Parikshit. This is a scene set by the Lord. So the king, so the Rishi is sitting like that. Maharaj Parikshit entered. The king, not received by any formal welcome, by means of being offered a seat, place, water, and sweet addresses, considered himself neglected. So thinking, he became angry. So he was not given proper reception. Generally, king should be received properly. King is also called Raja Rishi. Raja Rishi means he is a representative of God. King has to conduct himself like a representative of God, not for personal benefit. We call it Raja Dharma. So Raja Dharma means his life and soul is only meant for protecting people and people's dharma. That is his duty. He is not living for himself. That is why whenever the war is there, war takes place, the king goes in the front only, not sits somewhere and hides and runs away. So these are Raja Dharma. He will sacrifice his own family sometimes for the purpose of executing. That is why it's called Rajarshi. In the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu Sakale Neha Mahata Yoga Nashto Parantapa. In the 4th chapter, Rajarshayo Viduhu. This knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is handed over by Rajarshis, one Rajarshi to another Rajarshi. Like that, it was coming down. Like that, it is said. So the great, he is a great Rajarshi. He has gone, but he has become very, very angry. Okay. Prabhupada writes, when Lord Krishna, accompanied by Arjuna and Bhima, approached Jarasandha in Magadha, the respectable enemies were given royal reception by the king Jarasandha. This is the Vedic culture. The guest enemy, namely Bhima, was to fight with Jarasandha. Yet they were given the grand reception. At the night, they used to sit down together as friends and guests, and in the day, they used to fight, risking their life and death. That was the law of reception. The reception law enjoins that a poor man who has nothing to offer his guest should be good enough to offer a straw mat for sitting, a glass of water for drinking, and some sweet words. Therefore, to receive a guest, either a friend or foe, there is no expense. It is simply a question of good manners. If any guest in our Indian culture, it is very common. Anybody comes to the home, they'll make them be seated. They offer them water, ask them, are you okay? Anything you need? So like this. So that is how the guests have to be received. In the Kali Yuga, it is little difficult. Some thieves also may come. So, but the system of, I remember in our village, in our childhood, we have seen how anybody comes to home, immediately they'll be nicely received. They'll be given comfortable seat. They'll be given water and jaggery. So some immediately, then they will be asked, do you want anything? Do you want milk? Do you want to take lunch? So immediately they'll be offered. So this is the era when telephone was not there, internet was not there. So this is the Vedic culture. Any Atithi comes like that will be received. But Parikshit Maharaj did not receive such kind of reception. O Brahmanas, the circumstances having distressed him with extreme hunger and thirst, the king directed towards the sage his anger and envy, which he had never before directed towards a Brahmana. It's an unusual behavior of Maharaj Parikshit. He has never been like that. It's not him. Something very different he behaved. Never he did like this, is what Sutta Goswami is saying. Okay. So Maharaj Parikshit's behavior is not that it was ordained by the Lord. Okay. The only justification Maharaj Parikshit's behavior is that it was ordained by the Lord, because he never did like this earlier. So while leaving, king left after that. Anyway, he was not received. Being so insulted, picked up a lifeless snake with his bow. The bow and arrow he was carrying. So the bow. Angrily placed it on the shoulder of the sage. Then he returned to his place. He kept it on that snake on his neck and he left. Upon returning, he began to contemplate and argue within himself whether the sage had actually been in meditation with the senses concentrated, eyes closed, or whether he had just been feigning trance just to avoid receiving a lower kshatriya. Now he is thinking, after doing this, did I do wrong? Did the sage actually avoid me? He was acting like he is in trance. He was faking the trance. Or is he really was in the trance like that? He was thinking while going back. So meanwhile, what happens? The sage had a son who was very powerful. Being a Brahmana's son, he was playing with inexperienced boys. He heard of his father's distress, which was occasioned by the king. Then there the boy who spoke as follows. So this boy was very powerful because one is a Brahmana's son. Why Brahmana's son is powerful, it is said here? Because the soul who could take birth in the Brahmana family must have acquired certain power from the previous life. This and all in the good Vedic culture, this used to happen, unlike the Kali Yuga situation. The Kali Yuga, the situation is a little different. That is why all this caste system came. In general, Brahmana's son used to be a Brahmana because he was tapasvi from the previous life, who has not completed his tapas, would become the son of a Brahmana. That is how the soul could go. Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Bhrashto Vijayate. In the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asks that what will happen to somebody who did not complete his spiritual life in one life. Krishna says he will take birth again in the Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe, maybe in the Brahmana's family or Vaishnava's family. So the soul has some background. Secondly, being a Brahmana's son, he has trained so well with the austerity. From childhood, he is doing austerity. He is following the Brahminical principles because he was very powerful. But he was playing with the inexperienced boys, his friends. He was a small boy. So other boys also. Then other boys spoke as follows. Another boy has instigated him. So he spoke like this. His friend said, the Brahmana's son Shringi said, okay, oh, just look at the sins of the rulers who, like crows and watchdogs at the door, perpetrate sins against their masters, contrary to the principles of the governing servants. So the Shringi spoke as follows to his friends' boys, not boys spoke. He spoke to his friends. He said, look at this, because somebody came and informed Shringi. Shringi is not in the ashram. Shringi is somewhere else playing. His friend came and told, you know what happened? The Raja Parikshit came and put the dead snake on your father's neck and he has left. The Shringi became very angry and he spoke, look at these sinful rulers. They're like crows. They're watchdog at the door. They're supposed to protect Brahmanas. And they, on the contrary, they insulted a Brahmana. They did great sin he has committed. So like this, the Brahmana Shringi spoke. Then he said, the descendant of the kingly orders are definitely designated as watchdogs. They must keep themselves at the door. What grounds can dogs enter the house and claim to dine with the master on the same plate? So he is using very derogative words on Maharaj Parikshit without knowing the Maharaj Parikshit's exalted position. He's saying the Kshatriya are supposed to protect the Brahmanas like this, and he thinks he is equal to Brahmanas. He wants to eat on the same plate. So like this, very derogatively, angrily, he spoke. Krodhat bhavati sammoha smammohat smriti vibhramaha. In the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Krodhat bhavati sammoha. When anger comes, the sammoha, delusion will happen. Sammohat smriti vibhramaha. By sammohana, what happens? Memory is lost. Smriti vibhramaha, bewilderment of memory. Smriti Brahmshat Buddhi Nasho, then Buddhi will go. Buddhi Nashat Pranashyati, then intelligence has gone, then he will fall down. Same thing has happened to now the Shringi. He became angry. Because of anger, he has forgotten. What is the position of Maharaj Parikshit? How is he protecting? From his childhood, he was protected by Krishna personally. He is a great personality who punished the Kali, who did not allow Kali's influence to grow, though the Kali Yuga had begun. He protected the great sages in all these years. Everything he has forgotten because of anger. This is the power of anger. We should be mindful of this. When you become angry, you don't know what you will speak. Then later you lament. Oh, I should have not spoken like this. I should have not replied. Somebody sends you some message in the group or personally in WhatsApp or something. You become very angry and you immediately reply. So you should not do like that. We all are devotees. If you see something, if you become angry, you should take some time, think wisely. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you should immediately remember, Krodhat bhavati sammohaha, sammohat smriti vibhramaha, sruti brahmshat buddhinashat pranashyati. I should be very careful. My intelligence will go. My memory will be bewildered. I'll be deluded. So I should not become angry. Let me wait, think, logically, reasonably, then the right time, right way, I'll respond to the situation or somebody's comment. This is the right way of handling the situation, not to become angry. Because if you're angry, you'll be lost. So Shringi has become angry and forgotten the position of Maharaj Parikshit. Krishne gathe bhagavati shastari utpatha ghaminam tadbhinna setum adhyaham shasmi pashyatame balam. After the departure of Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, the supreme ruler of everyone, these upstarts have flourished. He's talking about Parikshit. Our protector being gone, therefore, I myself shall take up this matter and punish them. Just witness my power. See, what has he done? This is called Kali Pravesha. The Kali enters certain times and influences people's mind. Kali has the ability to enter people's mind. Parikshit was actually protecting everybody from the influence of the Kali. The moment he became angry at Parikshit, Kali immediately took charge of this Shringi. So Kali has ability to enter like this. So if you blaspheme a devotee, if you become envious of Krishna, envious of Krishna's devotee, Kali will immediately take advantage of that lights. So the Kali entered and he spoke like this, I will take this, I will punish, I will show my power. He became very puffed up. Prabhupada says there are two reasons. One is inexperience, another is puffed up. He's very, very proud. Iti uktva roshatam raksho vayasyan Rishibhalakaha. So Rishibhalakaha, the son of Rishi, his eyes red hot with anger, touched the water of the river Kaushika while speaking to his playmates and discharged the following thunderbolt of words. Very angry, and she discharged the following. Yes, Shapa, Rishi Shapa, he is giving a curse. Prabhupada writes, the circumstances under which Maharaj Parikshit was cursed were simply childish. As it appears from this verse, Shringi was showing his impudency among his playmates, who were innocent. Any sane man would have prevented him from doing such great harm to all the human society by killing a king like Maharaj Parikshit just to make a show of acquired Brahminical power. The inexperienced son of Brahmana committed a great mistake. Iti langhita maryadham takshakaha saptamehani dangshati sma kulingaram chodito me tatadruham. This is a curse. The Brahmana's son cursed the king thus. On the seventh day from the today, a snake bird will bite the most wretched one of the dynasty, Maharaj Parikshit, because of his having broken the laws of the etiquette by insulting my father. On the seventh day, he has given a verdict. Yeah. Takshaka, the snake bird will come and kill him, bite him, and he will die. So Prabhupada says, thus the beginning of the misuse of the Brahminical power began. And gradually Brahmanas in the age of Kali became devoid of both Brahminical power and culture. That what has happened? It has happened 5,000 years back. Huh? Not now. So Kali Yuga is beginning. Ending, he thought of end of Parikshit Maharaj, end of good time also has happened. So the Brahminical power or tapas shakti power, everybody can gain by practice. All of you are chanting Hare Krishna mantra. You all also have power. All of you are devotees of Krishna. You also have a power. But it should not be misused. If you misuse, you will lose the power and you will destroy other good people also. So he has misused the power by cursing the Maharaj Parikshit like this. The personality of Kali conquered the Brahmanas boy first. So let us read this purport. Very interesting. The Brahmana boy considered Maharaj Parikshit to be Kulangara or wretched of the dynasty. But factually, the Brahmana boy himself was so because only from him did the Brahmana caste become powerless. Like the snake whose poison teeth are broken. The snake is fearful as long as his poison teeth are there. Otherwise, he is fearful only to children. Personality of Kali conquered the Brahmana boy first and gradually the other castes. Thus, the whole scientific system of orders of the society in this age has assumed the form of vitiated caste system, which is now being uprooted by another class of men similarly influenced by age of Kali. You know why? What is the situation of Brahmanas today? You are seeing in our country, they don't have any leaders coming up. They don't have power. They in the caste system they bring reservations. They don't get jobs. They don't get any support. So this and all the result of misusing, falling down from the powerful Brahminical practices. Sometimes people say this Hinduism, Hindus and all being cornered. Other religions are taking power. You see what will happen after 10 years, 20 years. Actually, it is not because of others. It is because of our own doing. The so-called Hindus, the Hindus do not practice any principles. They don't have any power. One has to gain power by practice of the principles given by Lord. Kali Yuga, you can easily acquire power by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. One has to practice Krishna consciousness and acquire good spiritual power. Then your words will have power, your actions will have power, your wishes will have power. What you wish, that also will happen. What you talk will happen. What you think will happen. Prabhupada said, if anybody follows all the instruction I have told, 100%, for 12 continuous years, for 12 years, whatever that devotee speaks will happen. That's the power of the practicing Krishna consciousness. Just 12 years. Earlier and all ages, 10,000, 20,000 years. Kali Yuga holy name is so powerful. Prabhupada's instructions are so powerful. So, it is not the mistake of any other religion. It is not the mistake of some politicians. It is our own mistake. The people are not practicing. So we as a Krishna conscious people, we should practice very, very seriously. Many of you who have joined the class today, you all have a wish that nice Krishna's temple should come in Mangalore. Your wish will have power when you follow very nicely. You should take a oath. I'll chant very nicely. I'll read very nicely. I'll follow everything nicely. You can take very special austerities like this. When you take austerity, that is also very powerful. Your wish will have power. Tapasya, that's called tapasya. You're taking tapas. Then it will happen. You know, these are all our Vedic principles. You may be remembering when the Ram Mandira was constructed, before the consecration, before the Prana Pratishtha of Ram Lalla, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi did 7 days austerity, fasting. It all published in the news. This is all Vedic culture. If anything great has to happen, we have to become qualified by our tapasya. We have to practice ourselves. This and all gives very lot of power. Don't blame, you should not blame. Oh, somebody conquered India, somebody plundered India, some other religion is taking over us. Don't blame others. One should practice very nicely. By your power, the Sanatana Dharma will be saved. So request to all the devotees, very seriously you have to practice. Otherwise, as Prabhupada said here, so misuse of the power, gradually the Kali has taken over and there is no Brahminical power, there is no culture. So this way, the society will fall down. Then, thereafter, the boy returned to the hermitage. He saw a snake on his father's shoulder. Out of his grief, he cried very loudly. He started sitting in front of his father and crying, not knowing what to do. He is regretting for what he has cursed also. He is seeing snake, for that also he is crying. He helplessly started crying. O Brahmanas, the rishis, who was born in the family of Angira Muni, hearing his son crying, gradually opened his eyes and saw the dead snake around his neck. He opened his eyes and saw dead snake. He threw the dead snake aside. He did not too much make any issue. He took the snake out of his neck and he threw it aside. Asked his son why he was crying, whether anyone had done him harm. On hearing this, the son explained to him what has happened. Now Shringi told and narrated the whole thing. You know, the Raja came, Parikshit came, he put that snake, I became angry, I cursed him to die in next 7 days. So all this he told. The father heard all those things from the son. He said, the father heard from his son that the king had been cursed, although he never have been condemned. He was the best among all the human beings. The rishi did not congratulate his son, but on contrary, began to repent, saying, alas, what a great sinful act was performed by my son. He has awarded heavy punishment for an insignificant offense. The punishment should be connected. It should be relatively connected to the mistakes done. It cannot be improportionate like that. It should be proportionate. So such a sinful act my son has done. The king, the Brahmana is saying, he's inexperienced and puffed up. Thus could Maharaj Parikshit, condemned by the inexperienced and puffed up son of a Brahmana, even though he had attained the powers of qualified Brahmana. Since Shamika Rishi was an experienced good Brahmana, he did not approve the actions of his condemned son. He became very, very unhappy. Then he said, my dear boy, oh my boy, your intelligence is immature. Therefore, you have no knowledge that the king, who is the best amongst the human beings, is as good as the personality of Godhead. He is never to be placed on an equal footing with the common men. The citizens of the state live in prosperity, being protected by his unsurpassable prowess. Array foolish, because of him we are protected. I am able to do tapasya peacefully in the forest because of the Maharaj Parikshit. You see, one thing you should observe in the history of India, great kings, it could be Maharaja Rana Pratap, Chauhan, or Shivaji, Shambhaji, and all kinds of great kings who protected, who were able to protect, they were always cheated by their own men. Their own men with a desire of material desires, but the enter of Kali. These all are finally the Kali's power. So they desired the power. They went and joined with the enemy and helped them to kill their own king. What is the situation? What is the result of that? Result of that, India was conquered. Just like you're sitting under a tree, there is one big tree giving very cooling shade. Under hot sun, it is giving cooling shade. You are taking advantage of the tree. One day when you are sitting under the tree, one fruit falls on your head or branch falls on your body. It gives you pain. You become very angry and you cut off the tree. If you cut off the tree, you will lose the shelter. Like that, the Rishi is saying, Arey, alas, what have you done? My dear boy, the Lord who carries the wheel of chariot, Krishna, is represented by monarchical regime. When this regime is abolished, the whole world becomes filled with the thieves, who then at once vanquish the unprotected subjects like scattered lambs. Now, who can protect us? If you kill the king, everything will be finished. That too, king like Raja Parikshit. These all are finally the Kali Yuga's influence. So all this has happened. Due to the termination of the monarchical regime and the plundering of the people's wealth by rogues and thieves, there will be great social disruptions. People will be killed and injured, and animals and women will be stolen. And for all these sins, we shall be responsible. You see how this is all spoken 5,000 years back. Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami is speaking to rishis. He's saying, what will happen if there is no dharmic king? People will be killed and injured. Animals and women will be stolen. And for all these sins, we shall be responsible. My dear son Shringi, what a mistake you committed. You have removed the protector from the society. What will happen? We are now responsible for all that is going to happen in the future. At that time, people generally will fall systematically from the path of progressive civilization in respect to the qualitative engagement of the castes and orders of the society and the Vedic injunctions. So what will happen as the Kali Yuga advances? Because king like Parikshit is not there, then systematically the civilization which is progressing towards Krishna consciousness, which has a higher goal of life, will systematically fall down. Everything will collapse. Thus, they will be more attracted to economic development and sense gratification. They'll be more interested in money, and sense enjoyment. On money, enjoy senses. On money, go for a trip. Do maja, enjoy. This will become the purpose of one's life. And thus, the result will be unwanted population on the level of dogs and monkeys. What will happen? Unwanted population will take birth more and more, and the humans will become like animals. They're interested only in sense gratification. See how nicely the Shamika Rishi is explaining to his son. The Emperor Parikshit is pious king. He is highly celebrated and is first-class devotee of the personality of God. He is a saint among the royalty. He has performed many horse sacrifices. When such a king is tired and fatigued, being stricken by the hunger and thirst, he does not at all deserve to be cursed. You've done a wrong. Such person, something he has done, for that you're cursed. This is not appropriate. It's a misuse of the power. Then the Rishi prayed for all pervading personality of God to pardon his immature boy, who had no intelligence, who committed the great sin of cursing a person who was completely free from all sins, who was subordinate and who deserved to be protected. So it was the responsibility of Brahmana to protect such king but he has cursed him, he has killed him. The devotees of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they were defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they're never inclined to avenge themselves. This is a quality of the devotee. Hare Krishna, you're all able to hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so let us chant this verse, the quality of a devotee. Tiraskrita vipralabdhaha
Krita vipralabdhaha
shaptaha kshiptahatapi
saptaha
Kshiptahatapi
nasya tat pratikurvanti
nasya
nasya
tatpratikurvanti
tad bhaktaha prabhavopihi
tadbhakta prabhavopihi
Tiraskrita vipralabdhaha
Tiraskrita vipralabdha
shapta kshiptahatapi
Kshiptahatapi
nasya tat pratikurvanti
nasya
tatpratikurvanti
tad bhaktaha prabhavopihi.
tadbhaktaha prabhavopihi.
Mute yourself. The devotees of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. Why? Because they use their power. Actually, Prabhupada writes here, devotees are, it is not only Brahmanas are powerful enough, see here. Not only the Brahmanas are powerful enough to award curses or blessings upon the subordinates. The devotees of the Lord, even though he may not be a Brahmana, is more powerful than a Brahmana. But a powerful devotee never misuses the power for personal benefit. Whatever power the devotee may have is always utilized in the service of towards the Lord and his devotees only. The devotee forgives. The nature of a devotee is forgiving. No more, not becoming angry, shouting, thinking bad for others, cursing them, because it is not very wise. It is a misuse of your punya. You got so much pious credit, like a money you have in a bank. It is like that. When you chant Hare Krishna, you get your deposit, spiritual account deposit will increase. And you become angry and become scold somebody and you become wish some bad for somebody, you are spending that money. That money is meant for the service of the Lord. Don't use it for such things. Forgive them and leave them. But in the service of Lord, if somebody is harming Lord's service, I may use, because that becoming angry will not reduce your, that will increase your wealth, spiritual wealth. Like Hanuman, he became angry in the Lanka at Ravana. He burnt the whole Lanka. It credited Hanuman's great devotion to Lord Ram. It did not reduce because he did not do for himself. We forgive somebody if somebody insults us, but somebody insults Krishna, then we will not keep quiet. So this is how the devotees. So Prabhupada says devotees also powerful, but they don't misuse the power. So the sage thus regretted the sin committed by his own son. He did not take the insult paid by the king very seriously. He said he felt very, very bad. His son has done such a wrong, such a big mistake. Now, the interesting is next chapter will come to know what happens. The last verse of this chapter. Please repeat. Prayashah sadhavo loke
Prayashah
sadhavo
sadhavo loke
loke
त्रैद्वन्द्वेषु योजिताः
बन्धे उचिताः
नाव्यथन्ति न हृष्यन्ति
व्यतन्ति न हृष्यन्ति
यथा आत्मा गुणाश्रयः.
यथा आत्मा गुणाश्रयः
The sadhavaha, the transcendental saints, the transcendentalists, even though engaged by others in the dualities of the material world, are not distressed, nor do they take pleasure, for they are transcendentally engaged. They don't, the devotees or yogis or somebody who is sadhu, who is interested to get rid of this material life, they will not take pleasure in the worldly things. Anything which is not in relationship with Krishna, they will not be interested. Can we go for a trip? Somebody asks. Where we go? Is there a Krishna temple? Is there a devotee association? Is there something which is connected to the Lord? Then devotee will be interested. It is not connected to Krishna at all, devotee will not be interested. Somewhere connection to the Lord should be there. The devotee does not take enjoyment in the worldly things. He enjoys Krishna's mercy. He can enjoy Krishna Prasadam. Very nice palatable food he can enjoy, Krishna Prasadam. He can go to Vrindavan and enjoy a beautiful place, Krishna's place. But not that you go to Goa and enjoy some materialistic things. That's the worldly things. Devotee won't take such pleasure. And he is not distressed. He is not, the devotee expects. Sometimes some people come and say, Prabhuji, why this happening? Why people are doing like this to me? Why always I've been put in a bad situation? I helped this person so much, but now he has done like this to me. Why did he do like this to me? So, first of all, in the material world, don't expect Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. You can peacefully progress only when you come to this consciousness. Give all the respect to others. Don't expect any respect from others. So the devotee is not distressed. Devotee is in a good time. He will appreciate Krishna. Krishna, I am so good. So by your blessings, I'm doing so well. If devotee is in troubled situation, difficult situation, he will seek protection from Krishna. He will also say, Krishna, this trouble you got me in my life so that I can learn some good lessons and progress in Krishna consciousness. I can increase my attachment towards you. When you are in trouble, you will be more seriously chant Hare Krishna. Your attachment for Krishna will increase. So sometimes to increase our attachment for the Lord, some troubles may come. Sometimes good time may come. Both the time, the devotee is not neither materially elated, so nor he is distressed. He simply depends and enjoys. He's rejoicing his life in every moment. Every moment he is enjoying Krishna's reciprocation in his day-to-day life. That is how one devotee should live. This is the meaning of transcendentalist. Are not distressed because of dualities. Dualities means sukha and dukkha, happiness and unhappiness. He is not distressed, nor he takes pleasure in the material things, worldly things. So with this, this chapter ends. Now the next, it is said, the appearance of Shukadeva Goswami. This is how the story is coming up. Now all this has happened. Maharaj Parikshit is being cursed. The Shamika Rishi is very sorry about it. And he's appreciating the quality of Maharaj Parikshit. He's also explaining to his son, what are the great qualities of devotees? How should one live? Why did you curse for this? The Brahmanas and Vaishnavas not supposed to become unhappy for such situations. Like this, he is telling his son. Now, this news will go to King Parikshit. So when the Parikshit receives this news that he's been cursed by the son of it, the king, son of the Rishi, how does Parikshit take this? What happens in the to Parikshit and what happens in the palace? What decision he takes? How the great personality Shukadeva Goswami comes? All these things will be explained in the next chapter in the next class. So, with this, we have come to the end of today's discussion, and I'm not able to find my tool. I stop sharing. Oh, thank you. So, anybody has any question on this today's pastime of Parikshit and Shamika Rishi and Shringi's interesting incidences from Bhagavad?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhu, just one thing. How to differentiate means today we are in the material world and we are mostly going by our karmic reactions. So as it is said that Krishna used to show his mercy, like in the Parikshit Maharaj, he ordained certain things, certain situations to happen because he wanted certain things out of Maharaj Parikshit. But in our day-to-day life, we are, so much conditioned, so much materially engrossed, and mostly most or 100% time we are in facing our karmic. But is it something,
Your question I could not hear. There is
Krishna
some problem in the
ordaining
network.
it, or
I'm
we are
not able
just
to hear
going
you.
Raj Parikshit? He was so exalted, he can. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Am I audible,
Yeah,
Prabhu?
what is your question?
Prabhu, just wanted to know that how to differentiate whether the things are being ordained by Krishna or is it our karmic reactions which are
No, in
coming.
our life, we should always think, okay, any good things happen. Okay, that's a blessings of Krishna. Prabhupada has given this direction in his books. Okay, any good things happen, I should think, actually, I don't deserve this. Krishna has given me out of great mercy. When any bad thing happens, the devotee should think, actually, I deserve more bad things to happen. Krishna has given and reduced it and given me very little. And Prabhupada writes, this is a fact in a devotee's life. Krishna will reduce. Earlier I told, we have seen many devotees in their life, some bad karma was there as per astrologer's prediction, but nothing came true. So Krishna will reduce it. Because we don't know what is our future, we think. So there is no thing to worry. So devotees are all the things happening because of our desire to stay in the material world, not like Parikshit Maharaj. Good things happen, we consider Krishna's blessing. Bad thing happens, we think that it's our karma and Krishna has reduced and given. Okay.
Right, Prabhu. Prabhu, one more thing. Just wanted to clarify that is it true that since Maharaj Parikshit was wearing a gold helmet that time, and that Kali Yuga was there because he has allowed him to stay in gold?
No. All these are speculations. All the speculations.
Right, Prabhu. Right, Prabhu. Thank
There's
you, Prabhu.
no such things. He's a pure devotee. Kali
Yes,
cannot
Prabhu.
touch him. Kali
Okay,
cannot touch him. He's a pure devotee.
Right, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Shri Gantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.